Hey, my loves, it's your girl, Miss Melody XX here. Okay, my loves, we are back. This is the first episode of the Melody Tumor Talk Show. We're doing a little reboot. And, oh, let me get a little water. Y'all, it's hot out there. Please stay hydrated. Come on in the room. This is the first episode. Let me go ahead and put the topic up here right now so we'll know. Hey, come on in the room. We're going to have a wonderful show. We'll have a wonderful show. Put this topic up here. Trans women. Okay. See if I can post this real quick. Let's put this up top. Pin that. We're going to pin that. Okay, my loves. Hey, come on in the room, my loves. We're going to have a good talk about this show. So this is the first show, the Melody Tumor Talk Show. I used to do the Miss Melody Talk Show. We're doing a reboot. This is the first episode. I am back. More episodes to come. I feel like this will be the best episode to come back. So all weekend I've been seeing the situation with the Jess Hilarious, and everything. Hey, beautiful. Thank you, my love. Thank you. And I felt like this was the best and first episode to come back to. Those who don't know, this trans woman, her name is Blessing Rose, was talking about women in periods, and Jess Hilarious chimed in and said some things that were, like, to me, very negative. Now here's my thing. I'm never going to take anybody's side just because they're a member of my community. If you are wrong, you are wrong. Now, what I'm going to say is this. As a black trans woman, I will never sit up here and say that I know what it's like to go through what a woman with a period goes through. And I know right now a lot of the people who don't like trans women, they're going to take that one little sound bite and run with it because this is not my first, day at the rodeo. But at the same time, a lot of the issues we have with black women and black trans women revolves around the same issue that, women, trans women have, period, is the fact that we have to acknowledge that black trans women, period, fall underneath a woman umbrella. Just like in my community. When it comes to trans, non-binary people fall underneath the transgender umbrella. Well, we have to acknowledge that trans women, black trans women, fall underneath that woman umbrella. I've always said that. Black trans women are black women. Just black women are trans experienced. And the thing about it is a lot of people don't want to acknowledge this because the first thing they want to say, oh, I'm a real woman. Oh, I'm a biological woman. Don't you think that a trans woman knows what she was born? Don't you think that? Here's the thing about it. I have never sat up here and said trans women are females. I've always said trans women are women because understand this, male and female deals with your sexual orientation, but being trans deals with your gender identity, and it is totally a different thing. And that's the thing about it. If people would acknowledge that sexual orientation and gender identity are not the same thing, we will understand that trans women fall underneath that woman umbrella. It's so simple. It's so easy. But the problem is that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge the existence of trans women as women, period. Honestly, if I could be real with you, people don't even want to say nowadays, it's getting to where they don't even want to say trans woman. They just want to call trans women men, or they just want to say, oh, you're gay. And understand this. A trans woman being trans has nothing to do with her sexual orientation. Okay? Trans women can be straight. Trans women can be lesbians. They can be there are bisexual trans women. There are pansexual trans women. And if you are somebody who does not even know the difference between bisexual, pansexual, please go Google. Don't come from me, because here's the thing about it. I give so much free knowledge, and I'm not going to give free knowledge to anybody who's especially not going to listen. Okay? Here's the thing about it. We have to understand that right now, trans people, we are right now fighting for our lives. We are fighting to straight exist. People right now are not wanting people to go into the bathroom that they identify as. Let me explain something to you. We always talk about, oh, a woman won't feel comfortable in the restroom, with a trans woman. First of all, let me explain something to you. I don't know about anybody else. But when I go in the women's restroom, let me explain something to you. I don't go into the whole no conversation. I don't go in there and say, I'm a trans woman in the restroom. No, I go in there to use the restroom and leave. Wash my hands before I leave. Because a lot of y'all, and that's the thing about it, a lot of y'all, male or female, need to be washing hands when you leave. Because that's just, wash your hands. Wash your hands. But I go in there and I leave. I don't understand this this just wanting to police the restrooms. Like, who correct me if I'm wrong, why are we wanting to just hang out in the restrooms like that? Why are we just wanting to hang out in the restrooms like that? I don't understand it. I don't get it. Okay? I don't understand. I don't get it. But we have to understand that right now, trans people, we are fighting for our lives. We are fighting to be able to exist. We are fighting right now because they're trying to take away gender affirming care. Some of us who are actually in the process of trying to finish our transition and things like that, they're trying to take away that from us. And the thing about it is, we are simply trying to exist. Trans people have not just came, we didn't just magically appear. We've been here. And so right now we are fighting for our lives. And I hate to have started off with all that, but it's what needs to be said. So basically, with the Jess thing, this is my thing. I saw that video. I watched it 3 or 4 times. And I understand that in that video, I saw Jess was hurt and she was triggered. And a lot of people are saying that she's triggered because, of trans women going against women and trying to take women's spot. No. The real reason Jess is triggered is because of the fact that people have told Jess she was trans. And she was upset and she was mad about that. And that triggered her. But here's the thing about it. Just because somebody triggered you doesn't mean you should go off on the group they triggered you about. Because understand this. Those men who triggered you or those people who triggered you, they weren't trans. So if they triggered you, if they were the ones that triggered you, why are you going up? Why are you trying to speak negative? Why are you trying to come at trans women when they weren't the one who said that to you, sis? They weren't the one who said that. But that's the thing about Jess. She is hurt because more times than not, people have called her transgender. And the thing about it is that people don't understand the journey. The way trans people have to deal with it. A lot of people say, well, who has it harder? Being passable, non-passable? I always say this. There are struggles in both. There are struggles in both. I think there are struggles definitely in both. And the thing about it, we have to understand also as a community, we have to learn to come together more. We need support of all the girls to come together. And Jess is triggered and she is hurt. And instead of her going after the people who called her that, she going after the trans women. Just like, for example, I saw an old clip where she was talking about some celebrity guy was wanting to fly her out, and he didn't fly her out because she was trans. Now, mind you, she kept their name secret. I'm not saying tell on people, but she kept their name secret and was very mature, very calm, very just ladylike in the way she talked about the situation. But when it came to old trans, oh baby, it was aggressive. It was this and that. And the thing about it is that, again, if you are triggered, why not deal with the people who triggered you? Because a lot of trans women aren't triggering you. Trans women are simply trying to exist. That's it. Just simply, trans women are simply trying to exist. And that is the problem that nowadays that is going on, because I know a lot of people who may follow me may know the story I did. I think her name was Monica Diane Peacock, and she was a black woman, and she's no longer with us because someone took her from us because they thought she was trans and she was not trans. And this is the reason why I say that the negativity that trans women, especially black trans women, face does not only affect black trans women, it affects black women too. Because understand that there are so many black women out there who may not be the most feminine or have the most feminine features and are sometimes called trans or sometimes treated like that. And the thing about it is, is that, to me, I've always said this: all black women matter. All black women matter. All black women matter. And the thing about it is that we don't understand. We don't understand that a lot of the trauma and triggerness that black trans women go through the community, I'm gonna be honest with you, come from a lot of black men in the community. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me change because I was sitting on my knees, so I'm gonna change up. So if I change up, let me see this. Okay, comes from if more black men were willing to stand up and say that they were attracted, they were trans attractive or dating black trans women, we would have so much. It would normalize the fact of trans women being women and trans women just simply existing. Mm-hmm. Yes, people aren't thinking transphobia will affect cis women too. It's true, it does. It does. The negativity that black trans women get, it affects black women as well, and that's what people do not understand. And I look at the fact when I think her name was Dustin came out and from B5 that his girlfriend was transgender, and people said all this about him, and now they're not talking about. You know why? Because he was man enough to stand up and say, "Hey, this is who I'm dating," and it almost normalized. And that's what we need. We need more people. We need, especially within the black community, we need more black men to stand up and say, "Hey, I'm trans attracted. This is who I'm dating," because it will normalize. Because here's the thing about it. A lot of the guys who are so on to dating black trans women and things of nature, they be the main ones who are bisexual, who dating trans girls or dating femboys, a DL, a trade. That's what it is. Let's be real. They are. Because there are so many people who will say, that's a dude, that's a man, and be the main ones be in the gay boys, the non-binary femmes, or the black trans girls DMs when ain't nobody looking. Because to me, a straight black man, a straight man, period. If a gay man, a trans woman, anybody does not violate their personal space, why would you have a problem with it? A lot of times, I always say this. A lot of times people say, you may not be pretty. Let me explain something to you. There are so many men that cannot accept the fact that they have an attraction to femininity. There are so many men that are attracted to femininity and will not admit it. Because understand this, what you may not see in that black trans woman, what you might not see in that trans woman, what you might not see in that non-binary femme, another man sees differently. Because what you have to realize is you cannot help what or who you are attracted to. Let me look at these comments. I hate that some black men think being trans attracted means they're gay. Thank you. I've been saying that so many times. Dating a trans woman does not make you gay. Dating a trans woman does not make you gay. Understand this. A trans woman being trans is her sexual... excuse me. Let me stop that. I went too fast there. A trans woman being trans is her gender identity. It's her gender identity. It has nothing to do with who she's dating, who she's sleeping with, or anything like that. Anything like that. And we have to make sure that we are use the terminology. Because the thing about it is so many people simply don't like trans people or gay people to be a fact, or non-binary people, simply just because of the fact we are walking our truth, we are living our truth, we are existing. And let me get a thing of water quick. But what you don't understand is gay and queer and trans and non-binary people have been here for years, decades, centuries, and not going nowhere. But the problem lies in the fact that through this thing called social media, it is allowed for so many queer and trans and gay and non-binary people to be able to have a platform, to be able to have representation, to be able to have visibility. And that is what a lot of people do not like. That's what a lot of people don't like. But you have to understand this, is that I wish growing up I would have had the representation of a black trans woman that I am now. And it's going to make it so much easier for black trans women, for the LGBTQ plus queer representation we have now. It's going to make it so easy for the generation coming up. And so we have to make sure that we are acknowledging the fact that within the community, black community, there's a problem with black trans women against black women and black women against black trans women. And there should not be that problem, because understand this, when you look at things as a whole, black women are at the bottom of, if you look at the heterosexual community, black women at the bottom. If you look at the LGBT plus community, black trans women at the bottom. Black, on a daily basis, so many black women go missing on a daily basis. So many black women go missing on a daily basis. So many black women are having to struggle and take care of kids on their own. Black trans women are being targeted, and we're losing so many on a daily basis. A couple of months ago, we lost 2 black trans women in Atlanta, I think within a 2-year period. And so right now, the fact that we have black trans women against black women and black women against black trans women is something that should not be happening. Because understand this, the transphobia that black trans women face and experience affects black women too. It affects black women too. So we have to make sure that we are acknowledging everything that's going on. Everything that's going on, we have to make sure that we're acknowledging it and just being forth. But the main thing I want to say about this Jess situation was the fact that I am so sick and tired of this. Oh, I'm a real woman. Oh, I'm a biological woman. There are certain women who love to say that. They love to say that. But if you don't want to be called biological cisgender, why not call trans women and just call them women? Why not? I'm just saying, why not? But you have to understand is that labeling a trans woman a woman is what she is. A trans woman is a woman, but a woman of trans experience. And so for me, I want to say this to all my trans women: you are women. I've said that before. I've never sat up here and said that a trans woman is a female. Because understand this, there's a difference between sexual orientation and gender identity. And when you say things like, to a trans woman, you know you were born a male. Don't you think that trans woman knows that? But the thing about it is you try to use that as a negative to try to just pick or tick or tack at a trans woman. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's just a throw off. But to me, I say this, I support black women 100%. And the black women right now, you're going through so much. Black trans women are going through so much. Why not come together, bring all the resources together, and try to find out why all these black women are going missing? Find out why all these black trans women are being targeted. That's where we should be coming together. That's where we should be using our resources to deal with that situation and find out what's going on in those areas. Because as I said before in the beginning of the video, Jess was just simply triggered. She was triggered because people have called her trans before, and she just got triggered. But just because you was triggered gave you no reason to fire off on trans women. Trans women were the one that tried to fly you out because they thought you were trans. That was some dude. But you're not going off on them. You're not going off on them. And I heard somebody say today, Tasha K said something. I'm not even going to deal with Tasha K because Tasha K got too many problems right now dealing with Cardi B. She definitely don't need to be saying nothing. And I'm done with that. Well, what did she say? Okay, so basically, hold on. Let me switch this. Let me switch this, niece. Let me switch sides. I was on my knee. Okay, so basically, I don't know if you've seen the video. Basically, this trans woman called Blessing Rose. She was talking about, peers and things of that nature of women and stuff like that. And Jess made a video. If you go to her page, you can see it. Where she's talking about, real women. You wouldn't be here without a real woman and all that stuff like that. And for me, she just seemed very aggressive and very triggered. And for me, it just comes back to the point that she is so triggered because people thought she was trans. And this goes back to why I say that, dealing with the dealing with the transphobia in the black community, and dealing with the fact that black trans women were losing their lives every day, that does not just affect black trans women. It affects black women too, because we right now there's so many black women who on a daily basis I've seen people say, "Oh, are you trans? You must be trans," and they're not trans. But because they don't have the most, what society might say is quote unquote the feminine features or feminine mannerisms, they're labeled trans, and it's like people, and that's another thing I want to say. It's like when it comes to a trans woman saying she's trans, people want to hurry up and say, "Oh, you should just be happy just being trans." But here's the thing about it. What about the trans women you call trans that are not trans? Is that fair to them? It's not fair to them. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to them the same way that we don't acknowledge that there is a woman umbrella. And I'll say it again. Just like within the LGBT plus community, when it comes to being trans, non-binary people fall underneath that transgender umbrella. We cannot sit up here and say that trans women do not fall underneath the woman umbrella. That is, again, the problem. What does it come and say? We cannot say that. We cannot even begin to acknowledge that they fall up under this. Hold this. Oh, thank you, my love. Thank you for the dogs. So my thing is, and this is what I want to say. Black trans women, black women, we have to come together, because right now there are too many black women missing. There are too many black trans women being targeted. And right now, if you look at it, the other side, excuse me, forgive me, Lord. The other side does not care about, I'm trying to figure out a way to put this. Right now, black women and black trans women are in the fight for their lives. Black women are in the fight to just exist, because there are so many black women who go missing on a daily basis, who are not talked about. So many black women who are trying to take care of the kids now. And also the thing about it is, right now there's such, and this is nothing I didn't want to touch on this, but I'm so sick and tired of anybody who says something about colorism not being real. Please don't come in my life, because I'm so sick and tired of that. Because colorism is a real thing, and right now, brown skin and darker skin women are experiencing colorism at an extremely high alarming rate. And to all my brown skin and brown skin and dark skin girls out there, and guys may be telling you you're not pretty because of your melanin, he don't deserve you. He don't deserve you, and know your worth. Know your worth. You are beautiful. You are wonderful. You are more than enough. You are everything, okay? And I love you. I came on here because of the fact that I saw so much beef between certain black women and certain black trans women, and it broke my heart, because as someone who is a supporter of black women, period, because I know black women have been some of my biggest support systems, and I know how much I speak up for black trans women. It just breaks my heart to see that, because both groups are right now dealing with so much, and we need to come together and use the resources we have to be able to just, come together and simply just work to find a better solution to these problems than just going off on people on lives and stuff like that. It makes no sense. And I also want to say that if you are a person that is so much on Black Lives Matter, and you cannot separate I'll say it's like this. If you cannot recognize that a black trans woman is black, a black gay man is black, a non-binary person is black, you are part of the problem within the black community, because it is 2023, and it is time out for these want to be pro-black people who don't want to accept, gay black men, black trans women, black trans men, black queer women. Understand this. Black gay men, black trans women, non-binary black people, black queer women have been on the front lines fighting for our rights since the beginning of time. And that is another reason why this Jess situation made me so mad, because of the fact that I am a person who will all day, every day stand for black women's rights. And the fact of the matter is, you have a black woman here who is going off on trans women not because trans women have done something to her, but because she is triggered. Jess was triggered because people are call her trans. Whenever someone does you wrong, why do you go off on people who didn't do nothing to you? No, a group of people who didn't do anything to you. Didn't do anything to you. Why? Black trans women didn't do anything to you. But the fact of the matter is, you were triggered because of the fact that people have called you trans. That's all it was. If nobody ever called you trans, I guarantee you'll be seeing a totally different story. Totally different story. That is the reason why. Totally the reason why. So we need to make sure that we are not just we got to learn to sit together, my people. We got to learn to sit together. We got to learn that we are one, and we have to stand up for each other. Last but not least, I want to talk about this because I've gotten people who tell me to say this, and I'm gonna say this, and I may lose a lot of people on this, but it is what it is. The word cisgender. Let me explain something to you. Cisgender is a scientific term. Cisgender is something that could have been used to describe Miss Peacock. But those don't know, with black trans woman, DM Peacock she's no longer with us. And that's because of the fact that someone thought that she was trans. And she's no longer with us because of that. But she was cisgender. Being cisgender is not a slur. It is not a diss. It's not done disrespectful. It is a scientific term. That's all it is. And the thing about it is, when someone uses the word cisgender, nobody is trying to take away anybody's womanhood. Nobody is trying to say someone doesn't exist. It is just to describe, because there are certain women out there who may not fit society's standards for what femininity or mannerism is. And so you have a word like cisgender. And I also saw this. I saw this the other day too. I saw this morning. They were talking about somebody. I don't know what his name is, Shamar or something, about him being. I guess I don't really follow him like that. But they're talking about something about, he was saying that he was on the streets and he was homeless or whatnot. And somebody in this conversation said, "Oh, he shouldn't be on the streets. And where's the LGBT plus community, because they're so focused on pronouns." No. LGBT plus people, but especially trans people, are focused on existing, surviving, living, and existing in a society that is saying that I know better of who you are than you are. I know who you should be more than you are. And that's where a lot of these anti-trans bills come through, because people want to tell people who they should be when you don't. How can you tell somebody that they're trans and you're not? How can you tell somebody they should be gay and you're not? You can't. And that is a lot of problem, because people want to tell other people. People love to say things like, "Oh, leave our kids alone. And I don't want to see my kids saying that." But then when it comes to people living their life, then you want to jump in. Baby, sweetie, honey, love, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. Okay. You finna get blocked. There is this guy on him. He's not being disrespectful or transphobic, but he's talking about trying to get a date on my app. I'm up here talking about black women. You trying to get somebody to spank you or do something to you. Nah, you finna go. You finna go. Yeah, you don't got blocked. I'm up here talking about trying to protect black women, black trans women, and you up there talking, oh, I want a black woman to spank me and all that. I ain't got time for that mess. Ain't got time for that mess. Go get your OnlyFans if you want to do that. Come on, goodness. We talking real issues that affect the community on here. Please, goodness. Is he gone? I hope he gone. I don't know. But yeah, we have to come together more as a community to just make sure that we are setting up each other. And last but not least, well, I was supposed to have been gone because that's all I want to talk about. But I got a couple more things I want to talk about. I also want to talk about this though. In the black community, can we please start acknowledging that bisexual black men and pansexual black men just exist? It is 2023. If you do not know, now I understand there are a lot of new terminology and people be like, oh, I got to learn that. I get that. But bisexual and pansexual, if you are somebody who does not know what those terms are, how can you really call yourself ally? You can't. If it's 2020, if you don't know those terms, how can you really call yourself an ally? Okay. Oh, you know what, sis? Honestly, I'm agree with you on that. I think it's done to be debating on cycles too. Sis, and you know, Auntie. One thing about Auntie, no matter what, whether you trans woman, whether you black woman, what's right is right. It's too many issues to be debating on cycles. It's too many. Like it's black women out here going missing. It's black women who are being disrespected because of the color of their skin. It's black trans women who we're losing on a daily basis. I hate to say it, but it is. It's really stupid to be debating about cycles. It really is. And I'm tired of women using bleeding is the base of what makes a woman. There are hundreds of thousands of women born without uteruses and without the ability. And that is so true. And when we talk about it, and when a lot of women say that and they talk about that, to me, I agree with you on that, niece. It's disrespectful to the women out there who can't have kids and who struggle with that on a daily basis and don't think that they may have trouble, loving themselves as a woman because they can't have kids. And to that woman who might out there be struggling with that, understand that doesn't find your womanhood. That doesn't find your womanhood, baby. I'm sorry, I had to give me a little sip of water because it's hot. By the way, my love, please stay hydrated because it is so hot out there. It's so hot out there. Let me wave to a couple people. I believe the being that have children and cycles is a gift that some have and some don't. And it's not a gift given to all. Niece, you know what? I'm going to pin that. I'm going to pin that because I like that. I'm going to pin that right there because I like that. I totally like that. I'm going to read that. Can I read that again? It says, I believe, this is what Niece said. Niece, I believe that being able to have children and cycles is a gift that some have and some don't. It's not a gift given to all women. I love that. I absolutely love that. I love that so much. That is so beautiful. But for me, I just want to say, respecting womanhood, we have to learn to respect all women. And we have to, and as I said this before so many times, we have to acknowledge that black trans women fall underneath that woman umbrella. Just like non-binary people fall under the trans umbrella. But the problem comes in is that a lot of people still are thinking of trans women as men. And that's where the problem comes in at, my loves. Okay? That's where the problem comes in there. All right, my loves. This has been a wonderful show. I have had such a wonderful time. Does anybody have any more questions or any other topics you want me to talk about before I leave? Because I'm feeling like I really want to do a little talking today. But I had to get that off my chest before I finish anything else. Had to make sure I get that off my chest. And again, if you're coming in the room, as I said in the video, I just feel like Jess Hilarious simply did that because Jess Hilarious is triggered because somebody called her transphobe. They called her trans because she stated in an old interview that a guy wanted to fly her out and because he thought she was trans. And again, in that interview, she was very nonchalant. She's very ladylike, very calm. But in the video where she talks about, real women, biological women, it's a very aggressiveness. And for me, that comes from a trickness of it. And Jess Hilarious has to understand also, you're not alone. There are a lot of women out here who are called trans and are not trans. And that is the reason, again, while I say that transphobia, especially within the black community, does not just affect black trans women. It affects black women too. It affects black women too. Okay? Can we see the dolls? Let's have a positive note. Okay, yeah, let's have a positive note. Okay, so these are some of the dolls. I got some new ones. We have some new ones up here. Okay, I'm gonna bring you a little bit closer. I gotta get another shelf to try to get them up there. That is a non-binary flag. My Sunshine's non-binary flag. I'm gonna get my trans one put up above this soon. But these are some of my ones. These are some of my ones right here. Afro. Have some of these. We have a lot of new ones. Y'all know I love my melanated dolls. Okay. All right. So those are my dolls, and I'm gonna actually honestly end this on a positive note, as Niece said. I love you. We're gonna be back with more shows. I'll try to come back tomorrow. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Are you going? I'm hopefully going to see the Barbie movie. I was thinking about going to see it this weekend, but I had some other plans about the ice cream festival that got canceled. I ain't getting my ice cream, and so, but I definitely want to go see the Barbie movie. I've not got to see it yet, but oh my God, I really, 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 really want to see the Barbie movie. Okay, I love you. Have a wonderful day. I love you. Okay? I love you, my loves. Bye.